Good morning. Of course, everybody, especially over on YouTube, is waiting for me to comment on a few new revelations and, of course, the verdict in the Bill Cosby case. First of all, do I agree with the Bill Cosby verdict? No, I do not. Do I think Bill Cosby is guilty of what he was accused of? Yes, I do. But, and here's the but, again, too many years ago, too much money exchanged hands. It's almost like it's just this situation where here is the bad news. You've been taken advantage of, you have been drugged and possibly sexually assaulted. Here's the good news. A famous person did it. This is my problem with this entire Me Too movement. It is entirely too many wealthy, celebrity, famous people getting accused, and too much money exchanging hands. And again, this guy did this, 35 years ago? This guy is 80-something years old. He is legally blind. And now they want to send him to prison for the rest of his life. I mean, come on. Look, I believe Bill Cosby did what he was accused of. However, and here's why I believe it, by the way, because personally, I have had personal experience with certain men who use certain drugs to entice women. They get us high, and then they want us to fulfill their sexual fantasies. I have had personal experience with that. But nobody forced the drugs down my throat, and these women admitted that he gave them a pill, and they took it. So first of all, shame on them. Why would you take a pill? Why would you allow yourself to be alone in a room with Bill Cosby, and he offers you a pill, and you just swallow it? And then why, instead of going to the police to say that you were given an illegal drug, you were assaulted, instead you get a lawyer and you go to the Cosby lawyer and say, well, I will keep my mouth shut if he pays me. And because of the first time it happened, and it was so easy for Bill Cosby, he paid the woman off and she went away, enjoying her money. She had a bad experience, but she got paid well for it. So he did it again and again, and if you believe all the stories, maybe 30 times he did it again. So shame on the first woman who didn't go straight from Bill Cosby's house or hotel room to a police station. Sure, maybe they wouldn't have believed her, but it would have sent him a message, because they would have had to investigate it. He admitted he gave these women drugs, but he also said they took them willingly, and they admitted that as well. So at the end of the day, right, we have yet another famous person who paid money to these women, and these women took his money in order to keep their mouths shut, who decided 20, 30 years later to, well, we already spent the money, what's he going to do to us? Let's just talk about it now. And he got convicted, and it may be overturned in appeal. I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't care. I think the man did this, but I don't think he should go to jail. I really don't. I mean, really? Is he really out there now drugging and having sex with women? I don't think so. They're trying to change the statute of limitations now because of the Bill Cosby case, right? Because that was a problem for them, that the statute of limitations is 5 years for rape. And now they're trying to change it, which is so scary, by the way, for all of you parents out there of young boys and you men out there. Got to watch your P's and Q's if they change the statute of limitations, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to do something stupid. It might not be rape, at least in your opinion. It may be just he had sex with a girl, you never called her back for a second date. Oh my God. And life will go on. It'll be great. Unless you men, you become famous, you become a big actor, or you become a politician. Then you could be in trouble because that 20-year-old college student that you took out on a date and had consensual sex with and never called back, 25 years from now, when you're running for vice president or for Congress, she's going to come out of the woodwork. And she's going to come out not with the police saying you raped her. She's going to come to you and your lawyer and say, you know, that time back in college, that's going to cost you $500,000, or I'm going to your opponent's campaign and I'm going to tell them all about how you raped me that night. It's going to happen. If they fuck with statute of limitations, it's going to happen. And I know I'm a woman, right? I'm supposed to believe my sisters. Well, I'll tell you what. These women are not my sisters. See, my sister, if this had happened to her, would have gone straight from Cosby's house to the police station. I was just drugged and assaulted by Bill Cosby. My sister would not have gone to the newspapers like what just happened, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, to Tom Brokaw. My sister would not have taken money like a prostitute to keep her mouth shut. My sister would have wanted justice for herself, and she would have wanted to prevent the same thing from happening to other women, because if these men do it to you, they're going to do it to somebody else. These women didn't do that. They took their check, they cashed it, they kept their mouths shut until now. I have a problem with that. Let's talk about Tom Brokaw and Linda Vester. Now, I actually remember when Linda Vester was a somewhat often seen reporter, especially on Fox News, actually, and maybe Court TV. But Linda Vester has decided, surprisingly enough, after the Cosby verdict came down, that Tom Brokaw did not rape her. There was no sex involved, but he was inappropriate. He behaved inappropriately toward her when she was at NBC. Now, she didn't go to the police station. She went to the Washington Post and Vanity Fair, and then she got herself on TV. Now, let's remember, Linda Vester has not been seen reporting anything in a while. Okay, so she is having a failed career. So she goes back into her long-term memory. That time Tom Brokaw said something, I believe that was inappropriate. I'm going to call Vanity Fair. I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to just even call a lawyer. She has a lawyer now, of course. I'm going to call Vanity Fair and the Washington Post. And then I'm going to get my ass back on TV so everyone can see I still look good. I can still be a reporter. Yay. Here's what's different about this. Tom Brokaw is no Harvey Weinstein or Matt Lauer or Kevin Spacey. Tom Brokaw is not going into that good night. He's fighting back. He has come out publicly and said, you know what? I never did anything inappropriately with this woman. She is pissed off because her career didn't go the way she planned it. And now within 24 hours, my 50 years, my reputation, 50 years of telling stories, of good reporting, has just been destroyed on the cover of the Washington Post. They basically did a perp walk for me. And I'm not taking it. I did nothing, and I'm going to fight this with my dying breath. And I say, good for you, Mr. Brokaw. Because I believe Tom Brokaw. First and foremost, no other person has come out. Okay, because, it's like the Salem witch hunts. I've read books on this. You get these women back in the 1700s in Salem, Massachusetts, and they're acting weird, and everyone, because of their overtly Christian beliefs, believe they're possessed by the devil or they're witches, and here what they really actually had was mental illness. But where there was one, all of a sudden, everybody in the community saw a witch everywhere. If a woman had a fainting spell, she's a witch. Same thing with the McCarthy era, where everybody was a communist. We saw communists in all our friends. Give us names, give us names. If you name people, you will continue to work. If you don't name people, you will be banned from working. Believe it or not, it happened a lot in the entertainment industry. There always seems to be an easy target there. Tom Brokaw is not admitting anything. And this Linda Vester, I don't know. Again, I don't know the woman, not a fan, not a non-fan. I don't know anything about her because she hasn't done anything for a while. And that concerns me. And it should concern anyone who automatically believes her just because she's a woman accusing a powerful man. Because this seems to be the issue, right? With the Me Too thing. I am so fucking sick of the Me Too movement. I'm sick of it because real rapists, real wife beaters, real child molesters are not being called out on the cover of the Washington Post. They're not being hauled into court and sent to prison. It's only famous rich people. I mean, what the hell are these women thinking? Did your first settlement run out and now you need more money, and since you really never had a job to begin with, you need to get some more income, so now you're going to write a book or sue somebody? Now? I don't understand it. And if one woman could explain it to me, I'd be happy to listen. Like I said, everyone's welcome at my table here at Political Paula. But I am not going to automatically trash any man, powerful or not powerful, on one woman's say-so, or on 25 women say-so who didn't have the guts and the balls to report it when it happened and took their rapists' money. I've told you before what I think of that. That makes them prostitutes. They took money for sex. How traumatized could they possibly have been if a couple $100,000, or in some cases $50,000, made all that trauma go away? Until now. Until the crap started with Weinstein. Weinstein is a son of a bitch, and he is guilty as sin, and he's admitted it. But all of a sudden now, it's just like the Salem witch hunts. We see sexual harassment everywhere. For all we know, and again, this is speculation, say a certain high-profile person was mentoring a young, up-and-coming female reporter, and he might have said, you know what, Linda, that blouse you're wearing, your nipples are showing. You might want to cover that up when you go on air today. Oh my God, that was sexual harassment. It wasn't then, but 25 years later, now it's sexual harassment. And she's part of the Me Too movement. She's a sister. That annoys me. And make no mistake about this as far as Tom Brokaw is concerned. Linda Vester is not accusing him of raping her. She never had sex with the man. And again, back in the day, men didn't have to watch everything that came out of their mouth. You were allowed to tell a female coworker, hey, you look really sexy today. I love that skirt. Today, oh no, don't say that. Especially if you're going to run for office or you're planning to win an Oscar someday. Do not say anything that could be construed as anything that pertains to a female's sexual being. Don't tell her she looks pretty. Don't tell her you like her new haircut or her new hair color. God forbid. Because she's going to turn into a Me Too sister. And you're going to get screwed. And I like some of these conversations that are being had on some television shows, including Megyn Kelly, by the way, who does say this. Women should be believed to a point, but these men also deserve their day. And they deserve their day in court, not in the Washington fucking Post or the cover of Vanity Fair. And they need to be innocent until proven guilty. Proven guilty. And that means tape recordings. That means physical proof. DNA, whatever. You cannot just go out there because you're a woman and you once had a relationship or a conversation with a famous man, and now you're going to join this movement and get your name in the paper or your picture on TV. You shouldn't be allowed to do that, because here's what it does, and I have been saying this constantly, because I get some hate crap from women out there who have truly been beaten by their husbands, boyfriends, abused by their bosses, sexually harassed, and raped. You are the ones, my friends, my true sisters, who will suffer, because you're not going to be believed. The more these women keep coming out of the woodwork trying to get famous off of what should have been a tragedy, a traumatic experience for them. Women who have been raped have gone to hospitals, beaten to a pulp, raped so badly they can no longer have children, sodomized, burned, tortured. That's rape, my friends. Women who have been secretly drugged for date rape, Mickey, something slipped in their drink. That is true rape with intent, because they drugged them first. And these women now are in danger of being lobbed in with these celebrity-seeking, money-grubbing, power-hungry women who want their names in the paper, who want to be on TV. Again, remember what I said at the beginning of the show. The bad news is you were sexually assaulted, or someone said something mean to you at work. The good news is he's famous. Remember that. And please, please, parents and young men out there, it's sad to say, you gotta watch yourselves. You gotta watch your P's and Q's. Dot your I's and cross your T's when entering into a relationship with a woman or a one-night stand. Because sometimes just ignoring a text the next day or not calling for a second date, 10, 15 years from now could ruin your life. It's not right. But thanks to this Me Too movement, which I do not agree with, as most of you know, women who are strong and powerful in one breath and little withering flower victims in the next, I don't agree with that. You're either one or you're the other. I have said many times, I was not necessarily raped. I was raped. I had sex with a guy. A guy had sex with me, and I didn't want it that way. But I'm not a victim. I'm not a Me Too. I personally feel that I have responsibility for what happened to me as well. And I take that responsibility. I made a mistake. Made several mistakes, actually. But I don't live my life thinking about that every day or wanting reparation or wanting the guy to pay because I was there. I didn't say no. And when drugs were involved, I voluntarily took the drugs. So I don't live my life as a victim. I live it as lessons learned. Don't do it again. It's not good. And if I had a daughter, I would teach her the same thing. And if I had a son, well, like I said, I would draw up legal documents that every woman he has any contact with would have to sign. Because it's a sad day in America where even a casual sexual encounter can turn into destroying someone's reputation. But it's where we are. And I guess we're going to have to get used to this new normal too. Can't wait to hear the comments on this one. And again, I believe Tom Brokaw in this situation. Political Paula, out.